Hey, beautiful people. I often get asked about empathy. Now, this is one that as I fell into, I could feel this whisper take hold. It's okay. It is more than okay to lean in and lead with empathy. After all, that's what fuels me to be able to do the work that I do in the way that I do it, to be able to kind of really feel into those deep places within life, to feel into those deep wounds, those deep scars, those deep places of healing, alongside spirit illuminating all of it. So it's absolutely vital to be able to lean in and lead with empathy, but alongside it, it's the ability and equally okay to set those boundaries. And it's essential. If you're going to stand there with yourself wide open and you're going to stand there with your heart exposed, and there we also have to stand there lovingly within those boundaries. Empathy is not feeling for somebody, it is feeling with them. And I remember hearing that the first time, and I think it was Bernie Brown who said that, and I was like, my gosh, because that is what we do when we are that sensitive. We're not just feeling for somebody, we are feeling with them. And that again is something that absolutely ignites within the work I do. I don't just feel them, I feel what they are feeling. I am feeling with them. So the key to be able to stand there with your heart that open and stand there with that deep empathy and that deep sensitivity, the key is also to be able to stand there with solid boundaries for ourselves, with people, because it is not their responsibility. It is our responsibility to stand there with our heart and to stand there with those solid, loving boundaries. Or more simply put, is to know what is okay. What is okay for you and what is not okay. What we will accept and what we won't. And to get really clear, to speak with heart, yet with truth. To have the vulnerability and the courage to lean in and let them know where you stand and where they stand with you. It's not easy, but it's very, very, very healthy. It's essential for you and for them. Boundaries are freaking important. They are not fake walls. They are not separation. Boundaries are not division. They are respect. They are, here is what is okay for me, and here is what is not. This is key. This is absolutely key. Daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. We can't base our worthiness on others' approval, yet we have been duped to do so. And this is coming from someone that years and years spent years trying to please everyone. Only when we believe deep down that we are enough can we say enough. We've been duped to believe that we should do it all and to do it all perfectly. It's nonsense. It's not always about perfection, it is about progression. The dare is to say no and to hold it with grace. And the metaphor I often share with people is when saying no is this. Along these lines is like, thank you. Thank you for asking. You know, in the past I would have said yes to that. Yet I've become more aware of my time, my energy and my resources, and I've become so aware of what I say yes to. You know, for me, it's like carrying a basket. I become very aware of what I'm placing into that basket and not overreaching. For if I place too much into that basket, it's going to fall through the cracks. It's either going to fall through those cracks, or it's going to make the basket too heavy to carry. It's a powerful metaphor, powerful imagery. And I remember when Spirit showed me that, and they shared that teaching with me of showing me this basket. And then I remember then going through a couple of years of just absolutely offloading that basket, and then becoming very aware what I place within it. And that's coming from a place of absolute deep love for myself and then others. And how that shows up for others is if you are holding that with heart and you are saying no, you're giving them the invitation to also say no. We are then nurturing, nourishing and teaching each other to be able to give ourselves the permission to rest, to heal, to play, to drift, dream, rest and become. And some of the things that I've acquired over time that have supported me is literally the ability to learn to breathe, to take a breath and to breathe. We don't breathe. There's no time to breathe. Of course we're breathing, but are we breathing? Are we breathing deeply? Are we pausing? Are we taking that breath? So learn to breathe, relearn to breathe. Take a breath, breathe. Staying active, movement, it moves all the energy. You know, it shakes up the energy. Cycling for me, miles on my meditation, it shakes up the energy, allows things to not get stagnant and stuck. And then I've come across a really lovely client of mine, rebounding. As kids, we used to all love trampolining. And then you can get these really funky rebounders, these mini tramps designed for children and adults. And they have this little bar, and you can hold onto the bar and you can just rebound. You know, you're shaking up the energy, going back. When we're little, skipping would have done the same. You know, you are literally shaking up all the lymph, you're shaking up all the energy within the body, all the blood is flowing, everything's circulating, you're oxygenating the body. You know, we have become stagnant and stuck because we've been upped over and we've been duped. You know, staying active, movement, amazing. And importantly, giving yourself permission to rest and to heal. You know, the word gentle continues to be whispered to me. Something that comes each winter. A presence there standing in the doorway. I believe that to be Bridget. The word gentle being whispered. You know, I've a deep, profound feeling that this winter is calling us into deep stillness, into presence, serving as a rite of passage for those that hear its call. And that may arise in you as a deep stirring or an ache or even a longing to just put a line for it all, to become still, to rest, to unwind yourself from the over demands and those crazy seasonal obligations. Yet underneath all that pulling and pushing, the winter darkness can soften the hard edges of hurried, modern rushed lives, inviting us to cocoon and pull ourselves back into wholeness. When I was young, I used to dream night after night I would float out of my bedroom window and I'd fly above the landscape. Those dreams in the last few nights have returned, beautifully and emotionally so, and they did last winter too. You know, I really feel something magical is stirring, and I feel it with all my heart. Next week, I'm going to be sharing a guided journey to call back all those lost parts. I wrote a post about it. Have a look. Lovely prayer and invitation, invocation. Maybe it is an invitation. It is an invitation. And I feel with my heart that as we approach winter solstice, a gateway of light is opening. Yet, are you there to receive it? As a dear friend says, you're either moving through time or you're moving in time. So, as we approach winter solstice, a gateway of light is opening. Yet, are we there to receive it? Beautiful whisper from the divine. As always, sending you all so much love. Keep shining, beautiful people.